In today's video, I've decided it's time to try to restore my Axiotron ModBook into a better state of condition than it is in currently, and do some upgrades to it. So let's get to it. Anyway guys, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and this is my Axiotron ModBook, and it is in rough shape. The case is in really dire need of some repairs here. When I bought this system, I knew that it was going to be in rough shape, and of course they're hard to come by, so I spent probably a little bit too much money on it for the shape it's in. And when I bought it, it didn't work, and we fixed it in the previous video where it was just a loose ribbon cable that would sometimes work and sometimes wouldn't. But this case is in really bad shape. There's chunks missing out of it in multiple areas, and it's just not a pretty looking mod book. And yeah, I decided it is time to try to restore this in the best shape as we can. I got a used bottom case here that has a few light cracks in it, but no chunks missing out of it like this case has. And I think it will still have good enough wear where it will still match the bezel and still look all original. We're also going to be upgrading the RAM to 8 gigabytes of DDR2, which I took out my black book, which we'll be using for my tutorial of trying to get this back apart. It's 800 megahertz. It's really solid RAM. It works great. Worked great in this. So we got 8 gigs of that. And then we also have the NVRAM new power battery from my very first MacBook, which was technically my second Mac. And this battery only has 20 cycles on it, and it still works like brand new, and works better than the factory ones. So we'll actually be able to use this wirelessly because the battery's dead in it. And if you notice, it's not plugged in, and it's not on because the battery's very dead. So we'll be doing all that, and well, let's get down to the teardown. So after taking the new bottom case out of the bag, I've noticed that the corner of it is very damaged. And now I've got a new idea, which, yeah, I'm not going to like doing this, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's take apart my black book, make a black mod book. Let's go. So the nice thing about using this black book is we've already converted it to a 5.2, and it's the same speed and board that's in the mod book. So the only thing I have to do is swap the displays, and we're basically done because this thing's already clean from when we built it last time, and I haven't used it a whole lot, so it should be pretty clean anyway. And it also has a functional black battery in it already anyway, so it saves me having to use my newer tech battery too. So let's get to it.
The truth is, I'm not really sure what happened.
If you came to prove, there's no reason to prove. And now you've got yourself something funky.
There's a big uh-oh. The display doesn't work. At least I tested it. Okay, so now we have a broken ModBook again. And now I've got to follow all the display cables and make sure nothing's pinched. So I was thinking optical drive might be pinching the display cable. It might be why there was no screws in it. Yep, I was afraid of that. There's something wrong with the display cable. But I don't understand why or what. So I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything wrong. I knew I should have filmed the other video I was going to film. Why is it doing that? I guess I'm going to be troubleshooting for a while now. They say sleep is for the weak, and I just couldn't wait. This is a different cable. Let's see what happens. Now, it looks like it's the screen, because I know that cable works. Oh, that's going to get expensive fast. Double verified, the ribbon cable still works. Of course. Well, it's 9 in the morning, and I have taken the whole digitizer unit out. Luckily, if the digitizer was bad, you can still get replacements. They're all over eBay. So that's a good thing. But I think the LCD board controller might have damage on it. And it's extremely floppy. I think the edge connection right here might be bad. This is a pretty neat little screen, though. The gasket's peeling off, and they glued it into the frame with some really nasty sticky glue. It was a pain to pull it out, and now I'm covered head to toe in glue. But I'm going to see if I can't get another LCD, maybe. This all comes apart. It's all fixable, and all the parts, I think, are still readily available. This might be the problem. Not sure. So I'm apparently more stupid than usual, and I totally forgot I did a board swap. And this LCD panel that's in this is from like an Asus laptop with a converter on it. So this board doesn't know what to do with it. And Colin said I'm an idiot, more or less, and I should have waited for him to wake up before I took the whole thing apart. Just got the screen back together. We're going to try to reset it and see if it fixes it. Let's try an older keyboard. Right now, it's even harder to do. Okay. Folder, come on, folder. Please pull up the folder. Well, I guess we wait. It looks like it fixed it. Great, now I can piece it back together again. I got it fully functional, put it back together, and now I want to cry. It's on right now. The inverter cable is mangled, and I'm not sure how, because I ran it exactly the way they did in the factory. Yeah, I'm not getting any backlight now. Great. Well, I had it working. Once I got it back together, the inverter cable apparently got pinched somehow. It worked fine right before I finished piecing it together, and have tested it with this screen, and the inverter still will not kick on with this screen, so it translates into there's a fault on the board according to Colin, and the board's got to be fixed. And even if I swapped the boards right now from the original one, that cable right there will probably just blow that one too. Well, as much as I wasn't planning on doing a board swap, because, well, it was going to save time just to do the bottom cases, the original ModBook screen actually still works with the original ModBook board, and the black book board is very dead. As we can see, it's working. So now that we've figured out all the problems and fixed all the pinches, we can actually rebuild it again. But I've got to do a case swap. Yay. Well, I've got work in the morning, and I'm very tired. I just got some dinner, and we're going to have to come back to this later. Luckily, we do know that board works, so I've already pulled them apart. I've just got to reassemble it and pray that this time when I reassemble it, nothing shorts. Yeah. Anyway, this is what we're looking at. There's the black book bottom, and I didn't want to do the board swap for one real simple reason. It's a pain. Here's the black book board that we were going to use, and it's dead. So, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it right now. I've got to get the standoffs off of it to put on the ModBook board. And, yeah, it's just frustrating. Oh, well, I've been working on this thing for about 14 hours or so now, trying to figure out why it wasn't working. And we've gone through a lot of things trying to figure out why it wasn't working. And it all ends up that if I had just done an NVRAM reset the first time around, everything probably would have worked fine. But I ended up having to take apart the whole screen thinking there was something wrong with it, and it still has glue on the front of it and seeping through it. There's a lot of glue all over it. It's still very sticky on the front. But yeah, I tested it after the NVRAM reset. Everything worked great. Then we put it back together, and the screen wouldn't turn on. And it had pinched the inverter wire, apparently, and it just killed the screen. Well, it didn't kill the screen. It killed the circuit on the logic board. So, yeah, it didn't look good. Here's that logic board. This is a mid-2009 logic board. They're kind of hard to find, and it fried it. You can actually see where it toasted it. Board still works, but there's no backlight now. So it's kind of useless right now, but Colin said he can rebuild it. So that's great. This thing looks awesome, though. I think it was worth blowing up one board. And, I mean, it's black now. It is a black book ModBook. It looks so cool. I mean, it's so neat. Now, I think the battery discharged itself overnight, so I don't know if it will turn on. But I think now that we have the original ModBook board back in here, these were both 5,1 mid-2009 boards, so they're 2.1 gigahertz, 2.16, something like that. So they're the fastest non-unibody, well, not in clock speed, but in abilities ever made. So it's a very nice board. So let's power on, and hopefully this battery has enough charge. It's powering on, and we'll see the screen kick on. We'll see the screen kick on. We'll see the screen kick on. The screen blinked and did exactly what that board did. I don't know how to respond. I kind of want to cry. Breathe. He killed another. He killed another. He killed another inverter connection. I can't even get the words out. It killed another inverter circuit. The inverter's fine, I'm sure. I just nuked another logic board. Well, at least it looks cool. I kind of want to. Can't throw a ModBook. I want to. Yeah. And it's still on. Fans running. It's probably fully booted now. I can see the screen. It's still working. It's really hard to see. It says it needs to calibrate. But there's no backlight, so it's nearly impossible to see. Okay. It still works. It's so useful when you can't see it, though. You have to really angle it just right. I'm thrilled here. Let's see if I can turn it off. I can't see it again. Oh. No, I still see the dock. Well, it still works, I think. I can't see the top of the screen now. Still see the dock. There's the calendar app. It's opening calendar. Calendar's open. It works. Kinda. I think this ModBook's cursed. I think it's very cursed. I can't see the buttons. I just want to shut it down. Power. Here we go. Shut down. It's shutting down. Screen still works. Backlight doesn't. So on that bombshell, I've been losing my mind trying to get this thing to work. I've got piles of parts from my black book, which I wanted to rebuild, and I even bought a bottom case for to rebuild it. I've got screws strewn across the place that I'll never be able to get back in order, because I was determined to get this to work properly. And it doesn't work. At least it has a working battery now. And it's still a very good, useful weapon, at least. You could bash someone over the head with this. And now that we know this part here is glass, if you bash them hard enough, you can cut them too. I'm about to bash myself in the head with this thing. Because I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. So, we made a really cool looking paperweight. So, I guess I'll be taking this over to DOS Dude's DOS Lab. Have Colin work on it. Because at this point, I have no clue why it keeps blowing boards. These boards aren't easy to find. And I've just lost 2 of them. Anyway, guys, that's the end of today's video because I can't spend any more time doing this because I actually need to release this video, and I'm not about to blow up another board because I have a early 2009 board we could stick in it for now. But that's my first MacBook, and I'm not doing that. So right now we're in limbo with the system. I don't know why it keeps blowing boards. Luckily, the screen itself is fine because we verified it works. But it keeps blowing the backlight circuits right here under this piece of tape. If you peel that up, you can see where there's a giant hole where there used to be some ICs. It just blew one little tiny resistor, and it's anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and this disappointing ending. I wanted to actually show you up close how cool this thing looks, but I think if I hold it much longer, I'll fling it at the wall. And then it may not be fixable. I'm not flinging a ModBook, so. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. Don't forget, I do have a Patreon if you'd like to support me. There'll be a link at the end of the video and the description below. And I also have memberships. And you can see these videos at least a day early. Yeah. When you do that. And sometimes there's more, but you know. Anyway, if you want to support me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Shout out to all my supporters. Thank you, guys. You mean the world to me. And shout out to all my subscribers, because if I'm not trying to get my mind off of this right now, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyway, thank you for watching me, subscribing to me, and enjoying my videos. It helps me a lot. I can't even look at it right now. Anyway, guys, that's the end of today's video. And this has been a Hrutkay Mods video.